Have we started?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. We're back. The alarm stopped. I guess it was just someone making toast, huh? We survived. We're still here. A little bit crispier than we were, but still here. Just as we get our shoes and everything on, and we're like ready to go. Of course.
We did you a spook. I guess you had the tab still open. Yeah, okay.
Heck yeah! So, I'm gonna suggest an impact frame. Impact frame?
Oh.
What's up?
I was just like, I feel like we had a nice group together. Hope you kept a lot of you around.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Like, whoever
Yeah,
we have
I
in
know.
chat, we have in chat. Like, you're all a good group. Impact frame? Add one is good. Will help you. Will help you make a big punch.
We were all just sat here in shock.
Sorry, guys. It was shocking for us as well. I'm happy that it wasn't anything big.
Could you hear the alarm through the microphone?
They
Or
must
were
have
you-
been able to, right? It was super loud.
It was loud, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Probably. Yes. Yep. Okay, cool. You know we weren't joshing then.
Well, I don't think they would think that we would say that there's an alarm going off and we have to go for like a joke.
We should do that every morning now.
Well, alarm.
Sorry guys, alarm, gotta go.
Yeah, this is great. Lofo Chungo. Amazing work. Love it. Only a few very small notes. Mainly to do with the end shot, the actual punch itself. I think an impact frame could really sell it. I think you want to create more contrast between these two poses by really straightening up your robot there and then having it
Yeah.
settle back down into a less straightened out pose. And I think you want to play with the timing to create a sense of scale by really clustering everything around this to create anticipation of the viewer before you punch up into this.
Yeah, because if you think about the weight and the gravity on that arm it's having to fight against, it's like...
Yeah. Like, give it like, I don't know, see how 10 frames feels. Like, really give it a shot to like create some anticipation there and see what happens.
Oh, is joshing a UK slang for joking?
Yeah.
Not no.
Yeah, just joshing you. Just having a jape.
A jape. A G Willikers.
Alright. Let's move on. It's top spin the fuzzy.
Top spin
Hey,
the
top
fuzzy.
spin. Yo. It's awesome to have your work on here. Let's have a look. Whoa. This is more than just one punch. Holy guacamole. Top spin, you go hard. Oh, jeez.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Look how clear the action is, even though the drawing is kept loose.
And that's a lot to do with the composition as well. Like, we were talking earlier about cutting between shots and keeping characters in like similar positions and such. You can see here, like, we get kicked off up screen and the direction is this. And then look where we're looking, like very next frame is exactly where the action was. Let me just...
Oh, they're saying, I think it's Rock Lee and Sasuke.
And it's traveling in the same direction. So it makes everything very clear, you see? I'm just leaving this on here so you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see it.
And then, again with center screen here, everything happens center screen. Push down. And now this is the direction. it's all like taking place in the same screen space. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So it makes it very clear all the way through where your eye is, which makes it very easy to follow. So yeah, that's some good use of putting any composition there. So Topspin, if I was to say you could things you could do to push this potentially further, you know I'm going to tell you about grids. I like that you have one here. I appreciate that. But you could have more. You could always have more, Topspin. Like, let's get this going on. Good old floor plane. My 1 point perspective floor plane.
Friend.
Good for all situations.
Friend forever.
You can have it moving with the characters. You see how much it feels like characters are more in place when there's a floor plane there?
Yeah.
How much more grounded they feel. And then even here, like we want our vanishing point. Boop-a-doop. And let's have all the speed lines come out of the vanishing point. Clear origin. Find vanishing point. And line speed lines up. Grids! Also amazing work.
Oh. Sorry, I punched the microphone. Oh, punch!
Great use of staging and cuts.
You're asking for more grids. That's good.
I would never.
I don't know how much more she can take, Captain.
If that has a grid, that's fine. You know, it's pretty obvious what this is, but still, you could make it more explicit.
Please, sir. Can I have some more? Would you spare
vanishing
him some
point.
grid? Yeah, look at just the slight adjustment on the angle, how much more impactful those speed lines become. How much more intent there are behind them.
Find vanishing point. Find your vanishing point, your vanishing point. We'll help you.
Yes, hello waiter, there is no grid in my soup. Demand the grid.
Awesome. Like, nice use of camera shake there too. Alright, let's have a look at the actual action itself. Now that I've done my gridding. Oh, Sasuke. Get punched in the face. I mean, I'm not going to judge the drawings too much on this because this is obviously like very rough.
Yeah.
So Topspin is just blocking in the movements here. But you can see the character proportions are pretty consistent frame to frame. Nice use of spacing there. Straight up and then wham. And then we get this nice ease around. We get some nice Rock Lee butt going on as well. Very good.
Very, very good.
Very good.
You can see that the camera is implied to move around as well.
Yeah. I would say if I could give a piece of feedback on this beginning section as a whole. I mean, it does already feel really good. Like, it already feels real good, so I'm like wondering if I should give any feedback on it. I don't want to make it like, I don't want to lessen the impact that it has because it's already real good. I'd say you could possibly make the slow slower and the fast faster here. So find the parts where you're already naturally clustering your frames together and creating eases, and just insert another frame or two in there to really create more contrast and more feeling of weight. So I'll use this part as an example.
Mulgrax is saying, are you sure that it's not next week's challenge, actually? Yeah, I'm sure. Than being top spin.
This is fully animated. This is not bordered. In this case, find where you are easing / using tire spacing. And add 1 or 2 more frames. To give more weight and contrast between the actions. Other than that, like, that's a very general note for the sequence. I think the sequence is wonderful. So here we go up, and I'm assuming this is going to be like in between. Let's have a look. I think you could have a few more frames on this reaction. Because we want to really see Sasuke go, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
At the minute, I think it's only on for like a couple of frames. So you kind of miss it.
Darkbolt says, I feel I got a certain lack of understanding where the line is from a board to an animation. I think it's a valid thing to question, because I think it does move.
It depends on the boarder how much they put into their boards, but in general, the boards are your planning stage, and the boards will have grids and floor planes and such in them, so everyone knows, the background artists know from the boards what they need to create for your scene, and you can make it very clear like where the characters are placed. But it's a very different process to animating. Like, the main thing that's different is in the process, I believe.
It's what
how I approach an animation is completely different to how I approach a board. You know, when I'm approaching an animation, I'm just thinking about like, okay, how is this movement going to work? Like, where do I want to put my in-betweens? Where do I want to like put my eases? What do I want to be fast or slow? What kind of feeling do I want it to have? What kind of acting do I need here? When I'm boarding, I'm thinking, okay, what's the best composition to tell the story here?
Mm-hmm.
How's it going to flow into the next scene? Like, where do I want to stage my characters? What would be the clearest for the acting?
Yeah, I see. So it's like, where is your intent being placed? What are you figuring out through drawing?
one's like storytelling and the other is the nitty-gritty of it. I mean, hopefully this challenge will help show you what the line is, because sometimes the line can only be discovered by actually doing a board yourself. But yeah, my thought process is completely different approaching a board versus approaching an animation. When I'm approaching an animation, the decisions have kind of already been made for me a lot of the time. And I'm just kind of filling in those gaps.
Because you can see animatics where they have been slightly... if there's more frames, you can see where more animation decisions can occur in a board. And there's a blurry line there where additional animation decisions are made in the board to help sell the moment and to help communicate what the action is meant to feel like. And I think in very high movement, like fight choreography or like say a chase sequence, for instance, you probably need more frames to communicate how something will move and how something will feel. In order to really pin down whether that sequence feels appropriate and good and correct. Like if you have two characters talking, you don't need to put all of the lip sync and like all of the gestures in a two characters talking in a room. So
you don't have to put any lip sync or gestures
exactly.
into it if you don't want.
That can be only maybe like one expression to kind of deliver how the line would be delivered, and one pose, or maybe like one pose and then a secondary one to just show how the line has changed, how they feel about it. Whatever helps tell the story is the appropriate number of drawings to put into a board.
Well, for example, you wouldn't say that your board of the bird and the bear is an animation, would you? Or that you were animating it?
No, that would be boarding. Alright, Tiramisu, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thanks, Tiramisu. So, for example, there we go. If I was boarding this scene, I would only need one drawing for this scene. I'm going to move this frame backwards. Where did my frame go? There it is. So if I was going to board this scene, sorry, I was just like checking that my notes were working.
Gotcha.
Or say I was going to board, yeah, I'll stick with this scene. Then this would be probably what I would draw. We have our canvas, and then I pop in the grid. And the character who's doing the punching. And then the character getting punched. And that's like all you need for the board. If you want to do like 2 frames so you can switch between the character like punching with their left and punching with their right to create a bit of movement, you can totally do that. But that's all you technically need for a board. It's just to show this is what's going to happen in this scene.
Yeah.
And then the animator would take it and do what Topspin has done here.
Yeah.
Actually add the movement.
Yeah, these would be animated roughs.
Clarify the poses. You know, make it all move. Make it all feel like it has impact. But all of the planning, like where the characters are going to be placed, what the grid is going to look like, everything important that happens in the scene that you need fixed in story is going to be in the storyboard phase.
clarify and simplify it. I see I've been going overboard again and stressing over it. Darkbolt, the thing about animation productions and pipelines and like collaborations is that there's no one set way to do anything.
Yeah.
There are only you know, workflows that
are tried and true.
Yeah, you know, like the reason we have terms like storyboard, animatic, and animation is because they're little catchment terms for the way that people have approached solving the problem of how to communicate something visually through like multiple frames. Traditionally, storyboard, the term, the word itself was referring to multiple drawings pinned to a board showing the story. So when you're storyboarding, it's multiple drawings that can be seen in sequence that tell a series of actions. Now, as time has gone on, that the practice of doing that has changed and fluctuated. We now have tools that have been invented and built and released that allow you to not only think about those storytelling decisions, but put them into a sequence and review them immediately. What this has meant is that software like Storyboard Pro allows you to build an animatic while you're still generating ideas, whereas before there'd be a lot of time and discussion between those phases where you would have a bunch of post-it notes and stick them on a wall and look through them manually. It's
all scene planning.
Yeah.
Why are you sorry?
I don't know, because you seemed like you were trying to make sure you said that. I don't know.
I was trying to make sure I said that. But you don't have to apologize for me wanting to make sure I said that. Yeah, I just wanted to get in that it's like you said, sticking it up on the wall, it's all just planning for your scene.
Yeah.
Making sure that things are working from a wider perspective than the animation. Because storyboarding is about much more than just the animation. You know, it's about composition, sometimes it's about the values, it's about how the backgrounds are going to work with the action. Things you don't normally need to worry about when animating. So I would say that you could probably, if you had him coming in from this angle, it might feel a little bit cleaner. But yeah, I wasn't meaning to like cut you off or anything.
Oh, I get you. Yeah. No.
Just you stop talking now.
Oh yeah, I was actually done.
Oh, okay.
So. Genuinely.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, Tib.
I think the best thing to do, Darkvault, is just to give it a go yourself and see. Because it's kind of difficult to explain in words without showing you examples. I don't really have any examples that I can show you right now. I would love to just break open one of my storyboard scenes and be like, so this is how I would approach it, and this is the difference. But I don't feel like I can open any of my storyboard scenes at the minute.
Yeah.
Because everything that I've done recently that I have access to is very under wraps.
Yeah. And you unsynced from things for and Starlight. It might be nice to eventually show like the full boards for those. I think, did Patrick release the Magnum Bullets boards?
I feel like he released some of them.
We're doing okay, Tib. Our stream got cut in half because the fire alarm was being tested, but it wasn't turned off in the same. It was on for like a minute, so we got worried and left, and now we're back.
Asymmetry. when it comes to your effects. Heck yeah. Things I learned from doing previous Anna mornings.
Rolling all of that knowledge forward.
Good expression. Love that. And then nice for shortening here. Really like it. I like this, bringing the fist forward. Oh my gosh, look at this stretch frame. That's great. Great stretch frame.
Are those eyes?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it might be a head and a fist, but I mean, it's very funny if it's eyes.
Won't punch you. Thanks, Tib. Tib says, oh no, so that's why there was a second notification. I'm glad you guys aren't on fire, just lit.
Yeah.
What does lit mean?
I think it means like groovy.
Hey, Wabunion, how you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, honestly, not much feedback to give here. It's all very rough, so it's difficult to give feedback on anyway. I'd probably keep the shockwave going through the impact frame, because you have the power to do that. And I always think it's super cool when people do that.
So, what were you up to?
There we go. And yeah, I think that's all my notes. Like, keep shockwave.
Lit is like causing a spark, be it joy or inspiration.
Aww.
Similar to cool. Oh well, I'll take that. I want to be lit. Want to be a little cool for a spark. In the minds and the hearts of the generation.
There we go. I think that's all the notes that I have on this one. It's awesome. Like, I don't have much to say. I'm sorry, because it's real good. It's also in very early stages, so I'm not going to critique the drawings. But the few things I can see are like how to potentially adjust the read on this scene to make it slightly easier to read. Maybe adjusting a few of the movements slightly. And yeah, just pushing it a little bit more. I think it's wonderful.
Only one more week of submissions left. How many submissions do we have left, Swifty?
4. Yeah, I'm getting a bit tired. But I'm determined to get through all of them. So I'll do my best.
Olgarax asked that we kindly leave his for a little bit while they go and get food. Okay, we'll do yours last, Olgarax.
Okay. Well, we'll see how long it takes us to get through them. Oh my gosh, that's really cute. Oh no! Oh no!
That's a great cut.
That is great. Oh my gosh. It's so cute though. I love how you've made it look so heavy by the character struggling to get up here and being unable to move it. That's awesome. I think I would have them fall down one more time before going into this punch. There's just something about the rhythm there where I feel like I want them to be like, and then punch it afterwards, rather than go, punch immediately. Yeah. I think that would help it. Let me.
Well, RIP little guy. Okay, you take care, Robin. Good luck with your lip sync. Sorry for squeaky chair. But I remember them writing something about.
I love how you've made the critter feel heavy here.
They wrote, what I learned from this challenge is acting out character movements is super important. My character is lying on the floor while punching, so I copy the actions myself. I understood my anticipation action and what my body did to produce a punch while in that state. It was of great help. I struggled with getting her to punch with great force while lying down, though, especially with the target being so low on her stomach.
Yeah.
The twist anticipation was limited since her back was against the floor, but I tried to make this work by using her spine arch and her ab crunch as a powerful momentum for her strike. Please let me know what you would have done. I would love to hear your input.
Okay, let's see. I think it's difficult with the anticipation here. Like, because I read this as very much as her trying to get back up.
Okay.
And still being pinned down by this thing. Because it feels like she's trying to get up here and it's not letting her. And then she's trying to get up again and it's not letting her. So maybe I misread it. I think part of the reason that it's difficult to show this as a punch anticipation is because you can't actually see the fist that's about to do the punching.
Yeah.
So the main thing that's going to be being drawn backwards here in anticipation for a punch is the fist. So not being able to see that makes it very hard to read it as an anticipation for the punch. So I think what I would do, let me see if I can figure something out. Like, if there's a way to maybe... Let me just... I just want to get like a beat on the proportions of this character.
That expression.
It's a good one. Okay. And I'm going to move this over here. So if she was going to lie back down, that's where she would be. And then the punch is going to come around here. So like, how do we get this arm back here while she's lying down?
It's tricky.
Is a question.
I think if you had chosen the staging like this, I would anticipate with the fist that we can see. And I would have her punch from right to left instead.
I mean, I think you could go with something like this.
Gotcha.
Like, just really throw the arm back in space. I love the poses you have before this. I just think if you want to make it super readable, you can add this pose in as like an extra anticipation. Have her flump back onto the floor and then pull her arm back. So that it's really clear that the fist is a coming. And then we have it. all the way around. Trying to create like a sense of foreshortening with this arm here. Push that back.
Tibbs is saying that this feels very Imeishi in Canada.
Yeah, I agree. It's very cute. I adore it. This punch arm isn't working that I've drawn in, so let me adjust that. There we go, that's better. I think going with something more like this. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Look at that. That's so great. Yes. Yes to that. Let's get more arm in there to really show where the force is coming from. What a wonderful frame though.
Sweet.
Yes, this is wonderful. Look at this thing's expression. It's fantastic. And then get that elbow off screen. Right, so yeah, this is great for shortening. I love this. I love what you've got going on here. Very fun. The arc is still a bit derped, but I think you might be able to fix that by having this happen. Okay, I'm trying to denote the arc using the forearm here. There we are, that feels a bit better. Like more of an arc. And you can get that arc into this frame as well, just a little bit.
Zucchini Salad says, I'm going to study animation at CCA this year, and these critiques are really helpful.
Oh, I'm so happy. And also, congratulations, that's awesome. You will have an awesome time. Yeah, this is wonderful. And this, I think it's starting to read better now with the arc having been put in there. And then this is great. I'm just going to write this is great, because it is. Ploop. So I'm gonna write here. I was reading The Antic as the critter. Pinning her down. And her trying to get up. Might. Whoops, that's an M, not an N. Might need. Zucchini salad, thank you. You might need a more explicit antic frame. Or antic pose, I should say, because it won't just be one frame. Where we can see the fist. Being drawn back.
Take care, Kun. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah, thanks so much. I don't have any critique for this first bit. I think it's so charming. It's so cute though. I love it. No crit on this first bit. Sometimes the words just don't write themselves.
You be slurring.
Super charming. Nice job. So hopefully that punch will read a little bit better. Might need that anticipation to come. You know, you'll need to settle into that anticipation enough time before the punch happens to be able to read it properly. But hopefully it will help connect the dots.
He's not gonna get away with this.
A bit more. Hey, Punky Dumpling, thanks so much for the raid.
Oh, welcome in. We're just providing feedback and reviews on animations that we got for our Animorning Challenge.
Yeah, we're onto Mulgarax now.
Awesome.
Have a look.
This week's theme was punching, or the one punch.
Oh, nice.
That's that, yeah.
Yay. Good job.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Punch is definitely reading. Thank you for the grid. Appreciated. So we have this nice anticipation. Everything's very clear. The poses are all very readable. It's great. And then we have great spacing here where we just jump forward. That I very much like. You could potentially here give it a little bit more of an arc. These are all like nitpicks because everything's working.
India. Artful says, "Say, is that a turtle?"
What? Oh, the character.
Yeah.
Ah!
Wait, maybe that's.
It's got a shell. It's a hero and a half shell.
Maybe that's the Foot Lieutenant.
Oh my gosh, it does have the same head shape as Foot Lieutenant. Okay, so A+, no notes on this. It looks great. You know the path to my heart. Yes, it looks like Raph. Ah, it's Raph. Raph be punching.
Erin kept getting raided, so she went an extra hour streaming.
Nice.
Fair enough. Well, welcome in. If it's your first time here, we're Doig and Swift, and we are animators, and we do animation.
Yeah, we're just giving some critiques to our pals who've taken on the Animorning Challenge. I'm just trying to make that arc a little bit more explicit there, of it whipping over with the arm. Great impact frame, love it. I love the way that it's not even like he's punched him in the face on the cheek, it's like the side of the head. He's like discombobulating him.
One side discombobulate. What would a half discombobulate be?
Unbobulated.
Unbobulate. Cool.
Awesome. Really cool. I don't know if you'd want to add a stagger in here. It might be a nice place for it. Because could add stagger in here.
So when you say stagger, you mean an animation stagger where it goes forward a little bit, back a little bit, forward a little bit, back a little bit.
You have this really nice ease here where we're getting to see the aftermath of this like amazing punch that's just happened, and we're slowly pushing his head and distorting it. And it's like prime real estate for if you wanted to do a stagger, like this would be a good place for it and it would fit. Just on this dude's head and the fist, everything else would continue traveling smoothly. And then we cut to this. I think in terms of the staging here, you could stage it so the area of interest is a little bit closer between these two frames. So I'm looking like roughly here. Well, look at that. I think what I'm feeling is that you could move it up a little bit. I think that's what I'm feeling. Because top of the head here and the top of the head here are quite high up on screen. So if you're able to, I don't know if this is like doable in your software, but if it is doable, I'd say like just move them up to like say here instead. So the feet are a little bit less close to the bottom of the screen. They're just a little bit more centered in terms of composition. I think that'll help my eye go from one to the other, because there is something where my eye is like jumping between the two compositions. So a little bit of trial and error, I think we'll polish that out. So on this cut, experiment with moving them higher. Reframing. Them a little higher.
If any of you are artists or animators that have come over from Punky Dumplings, if you're interested in taking part in the challenge, next week's theme is to board a fight scene. So we're looking for animatics from folks. Really just get creative with, you know, shot compositions, transitions between like attacks and stuff. A lot of the advice you can find here on the punch is very applicable into the next week's challenge, and what we're looking for is you know, storyboards set as an animatic in a video format.
Mm-hmm. I think you could take this just a little bit more extreme, just push it that a little bit more. That's pretty much my only note. Just to get that twist on the body.
I'm gonna guess that this might be Wrath.
Yeah, it's Wrath. You can tell by the plastron shape. You know, really get that twist on his body. And then continue to follow through as you are. So just push this pose a bit more.
Let me find you a link.
Yeah, other than that, like, I love this. This is great. Nice blur here. Gonna make it slightly more human shaped if you want to keep some comedy. There he go. Go flying.
Mulgarak says, yes, this is Raph and Foot Lieutenant. You got me to watch Rise of the TMNT India. Now you have to live the consequences.
Yes! The best consequences!
Yes!
I'm so happy! I get to see more TMNT! That's amazing! Oh, I'm really happy. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. You're looking badass. Really like it. Very nice. Very good impact frames.
Ooh.
Yeah, lots of fun. Not many notes on this one, dude. The punch is very satisfying feeling. Only thing that I would suggest adding is maybe that stagger. Feels good. Feels good.
Keep it up, Mulgarax.
Oh, Josie, please do. Please do. Just so I can rave to you about it. I don't want to spoil anyone on it, but it just gets better and better. Hey, it's Rolando! Rolando! Do you know what Rolando's handle is?
If you refresh, I updated Rolando's, so you'll have to jump to it.
I'm trying. Wait a second. That's not Rolando's.
I had to re-upload Rolando's, so...
There we are. Here we are. I see! Looking good, Rolando. I do get a little bit confused between the cuts, but let's see why that is. So, there's two people here, right?
Yeah. I think you're looking up at Punchy.
Okay, I gotcha. So, they're facing the person they're gonna punch. And then they're punching through them. And then the punches are like... Bada, 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 bada. So let's see, what is it about this? I think it's because they switch positions.
Yeah.
And there's not any frame to show me that they're switching, other than the fact that the camera flips. I think that's the problem. I think if in this scene, the character started off here, and then you just had like one frame of them like zipping past or something, then I would understand what's going on better. Watching it through the first time, I was confused by the relation between these two scenes because the characters switched position so quickly. So I definitely think you could clarify that. So like in this, the fist clench, I think you could add more contrast to the fist clench by having the hand like open first. So also consider maybe like using either a bigger canvas or a smaller brush so that you just have a bit more room, because everything feels quite cramped at the minute compositionally. I'm just assuming these people have 3 fingers. They probably don't, but let's pretend they do for a sec. Have this open palm first and then clench, and you'll get a bit more contrast. So open palm first. Just like an antic, which is short for anticipation for those who might not know the lingo I'm using. Then close. And then when we're cutting to this, it feels like the fist is changing position. So this is another thing where you just want to watch like the relationship between your shots. Area of interest is here. That's where we're looking. And then we want this to be the same. So I'd suggest moving the fist up to here. So that between the two shots. Doop, 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 doop. The fist is in roughly the same place. I'm going to move it over here slightly now that I've flicked between the two shots. Yeah, like that. And then you can have it bigger, since you have it like more forced perspective on it than I have. Let me adjust that. So I would have it like this. So we're in more of the same position. between these two. And for this person in front of them, if you're going to have a low angle, definitely like put in a grid so we can see what the relationship is between these characters and the environment.
Yeah, I would say in head scale terms, those two characters' head scales are too similar that you'd want to scale down
This person would
far
have
away
to be,
from.
yeah, this person would have to be very close.
Yeah,
very,
like,
very close.
like leaning over right in their face almost.
Especially considering the amount of foreshortening you've given the hand being close to the cam. That's implying to me that we have like a wide lens that's gonna like increase the depth of any perspective we have. So in order for that character's head to be comparable in size to the main character's head, they're gonna have to be standing very close. So I think I would push them backwards a bit if possible. You can still have them towering over, but let me raise that. Sometimes it doesn't want to draw circles, it just wants to draw straight lines. Having someone towering over like this. You can still have, but I would push their face further from the cam.
Feels better immediately.
If you want to do that, so push character further from cam. To line up with focal length, I guess it would be, but I don't know if there's a simpler way to say that. I'll just put line up with forced perspective. Add grid to show what would you say? Orientation to show like
orientation is pretty good. Just sort of like
angle?
placement.
Yeah.
Relationship maybe.
Angle / relationship.
Because you want to show the relative. Hey, Tales of Elethrion. You want to show the relative positions between these figures.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the relationship between them. You're just in time, Meckel. I think we're just on the one before your submission.
Yeah. So then when we get to this, I think it would help here too if there was the feeling that the person is about to punch at least. One nice thing that you can do is to cut on action. That always feels really good when you cut halfway through an action and continue the action on the next scene.
Is there a term for that?
Cutting on the action is the term for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because the character doesn't really move here at all, and then suddenly they're past the person. There's not really any time for the audience to register what's happened, which makes it kind of difficult to read.
Yeah, potentially you could misread this as this is someone behind them approaching. Because we don't have a sense of where they've moved from and to.
So I just like add some anticipation on here, like get them winding up or something, you know? Some indication that they're about to throw the punch. Add antic to lead into next scene. And then here again, I'd say having some kind of floor plane or perspective would be really helpful. So I'm guessing it would be something like the floor plane being here And maybe the vanishing point being like here, and it being that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
Just this character feels very low on screen. I don't know if they're like crouching.
Yeah, I feel like they've kind of...
But it feels like we can't be top down, and that being the reason for them to be lower on screen than the other character, because the other character's drawn very flat on. So it feels like it kind of has to be a crouch for it to make sense with the floor plane. But yeah, get a floor plane in there. That'll be super helpful.
I think Orlando's tried to show speed lines on this character to show that they've just moved.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think that needs to hook up with where they were from though, because it feels like they've dropped. Like they've ducked, jumped over and landed and dropped.
Right, I see. Because they're coming from like slightly above.
There's a lot of like misinformation, I think, that while trying to be efficient with frames, there's just small things that are missing that add to the confusion.
Well, we have this character drift slightly across anyway.
Okay, gotcha.
Here. So I think what you could do to help this is to keep that character in the same place and have them just drift over further, since you already have that drift happening.
Mm-hmm.
So keep this character who's getting punched over here to begin with,
Right,
or at least closer to where they were in the previous scene,
and then have that sort of like parallax feel. Gotcha.
And then have like the I have dashed past you speed lines here, going past the character, and have a character settle slightly off screen, and then you can push them across as you have, essentially. I think one of the problems that you're facing is you want to push this character to the right and you want to push the other character to the left, which is difficult. Hold on, let me work this out.
I mean, the foreground character could start on left and move to right so that they switch positions. So they start in the same... It might just add to the confusion on it, though.
I mean, because they do that, they do start on the left and go to the right already. The difficulty is to hook up between these two scenes. So let me just try and work this out for a sec. Have this. And you give them like a nice smear to get there, so it's very clear like where they've come from. And then I think you just want this character to be slightly more over this way. At least a little bit. And then when you get to this frame, there's a sense that they've come from where they started in the previous scene. I think you just really need that sense of movement in there, rather than just cutting straight to the character being close to the cam. And as Mike said, to change the speed lines to be slightly more in line with where they came from, I think will be a huge help too. And since the fist is a super important thing here, the fist is what's doing the punching, I think if you wanted to like bring the fist forward here, so the fist settles in.
There's the sort of like Dragon Ball anime technique where you have the character kind of like blink, like it does almost like a flicker blink. If you added that in the previous shot as well, you could have be like, I'm gonna punch you, and then cut on the,
yeah,
then have them turn up here.
Gotcha. So you just flick their frame on and off for a couple of frames.
Other potential shortcuts that communicate fast movement without showing all of the frames. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, you still need, even if you that flicker, you still need an indication of the direction of the character and where they came from and went to. Right?
What were you saying?
I was saying that even if you have a flicker on and off, you still need an indication of the direction that the character's coming from and to.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
So I think getting some speed lines on here will help with that. Like this kind of thing. Have the fist settle in slightly after everything else. Just moving it forward a little bit because I think I maybe made it too extreme. There we go. Sometimes it just likes to keep my frames over the top of the camera and I'm not sure why. There we go. So a little indication, but it makes it feel more like they've moved from that position to that position. And then with this bit here, I like the jitter you have on the dude. I think rather than flash between circles and stars, you want those to continue somewhat. So when you bring the circles on, have the circles actually like expand and peter off rather than just appearing then disappearing.
It's like a full a force pulse.
Yeah, like have these actually expand into themselves before disappearing, you know. So there's a sense of progression between these things and it's not just flashing between different shapes. I think the things which you would want to flash are potentially these stars that you have going on, but the circles not so much. Because the circles are shockwaves, so you kind of want to show them traveling from an origin point rather than just being shapes.
Yeah, these impact symbols are used to communicate like a blunt force thing hitting the character and dispersing out. So you want to be able to use the symbols for their intended purpose. If you've seen in like other animations where they use those shapes, that is what those shapes are communicating. You want to make sure that you both deliver the shape itself, but also like the feeling that they're meant to convey. So if you just have things flashing, it looks more like bullet fire maybe, but even then you would want to have the flare hit and then disperse off and stuff like that.
There you go. I think that would help this scene. I think generally the thing you want to look out for is how your scenes relate to one another, making sure that you're very clearly saying what's happening between each one. So the storytelling itself, I think, is what you need to look at, just in terms of making sure that things are readable between scenes and people's eyes are being led naturally from one place to the next.
Yes, much agree.
And now we're on to the final one.
Hey NC Luke.
Kyle
Look at
Lee,
this.
thank you so much for the follow. Huh?
I was just saying, look at this.
Yeah, Tales of Elethrion. Meckel, thank you so much for doing the Doigle punch. What the heck, dude? So, if anyone who doesn't know, this was done by Meckel, who's one of the animators on Tales of Elethrion, which is incredible. Like, what?
How did this even happen?
How cool! How cool! And it's Doigles in his Tales of Elethrion form. He's gonna smack this worm. Oh, he's gonna smack him. You're ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I heard the sound. Yes.
Oh, I think that's a punching bag from Smash.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's so cool to see frame by frame.
That's so amazing. I love the speed lines. They're so cool.
Magic punch.
Heck yeah. Look how the speed lines are like indicating the floor plane without even needing to like have it on there. I'd be lying if I said I still didn't want a grid. But the way that everything moves in space is so convincing. Are you okay, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry if you guys can hear banging. There's a man rappelling down our window right now. And the ropes are hitting against the window. Good timing.
This is so cool.
Look at this
Michael.
stretch frame. Just Mike becomes the punch. So cool.
And then
Also impact frame.
Yeah, so we're showing that extended force is hitting that flat surface.
Yeah, let's go frame by frame and have a look at what's going on here.
I love
So
that.
nice,
I'm
yeah.
just like, ha.
Look at these effects too, so nice. I always love this shape when I see it in animation. The like pierced circle shape. I see David use that a lot too. I've started using it myself because I really like it. It's great for impact frames.
Wizard Doig.
Ooh, look at this nice like perspective coming in off screen as well with the hand. The size relationship between everything is really nice.
I love that it's like I'm igniting the magic in one hand and then just sort of like scooping it up with the other.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Get scooped. And then the magic continues to travel around as he lunges. And look at this. That's in a beautiful pose right there. I love that pose.
I love that hoodie hood.
Yeah, the hood's great. The way that it follows your movement. And then we're coming up behind him. And look at the way that everything distorts into camera as well. Super nice. And then these great stretch frames. Here we go.
Murderous intent.
Yeah, I love the way that this is the fist is dragging behind in perspective. That's so fun. And then wham, you become the fist. Impact frame. And that's the space where it used to be. Because it's not there anymore. Look at how the impact frame, the force disperses between that and the next. You see the continuation of the magic as it kind of ripples outwards. And then we get that amazing sound effect. Sorry guys if you're just hearing. Let me turn down so you guys get ambushed by the sound effect.
They won't hear it. Do you want to?
Oh, okay, fair enough. If they don't hear it, that's alright.
But only you.
Only me. As we follow the punch bag, which wipes the camera and comes into frame, we get to see it bouncing away into the distance, never to be seen again. And I believe the floor plane there is the same as it is in the first shot. If the perspective, yeah, the perspective looks the same. So nice. I love how creative all the shots are here too. Like cutting from this being behind Doig to being behind the punch bag.
Mm-hmm. That continues the motion that's established there of like curving around.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Like, How am I supposed to critique this? I don't really have any critiques for this. This is just cool. It's the kind of thing that I would look at myself to learn how to animate better, you know? To see what other people are doing and how they make it work. Like, very limited frames as well. It all reads so well. It reads super well. It has impact. Like, there's a very limited number of frames, but the movement still feels complete. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I have a critique.
You have a critique? Go for it. I'm inside the punching bag. I'll have you know.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Cool.
Yeah, awesomeness. And an honor.
I've never
One
been
honor.
so cool.
Look at you. You're awesome.
I'd love it to
Yeah,
be
thank you so
I'd
much
love
for
to be a
taking
wizard.
part, Mikkel. Like, that's so cool of you. It's awesome to have your animation on this challenge. For blessing our eyeballs.
Come on, you gotta give him one feedback.
What? I mean,
Don't have.
I can't. I'm trying, man.
No.
I mean, the floor plane is the obvious one. Though it is moving very convincingly in space, so like I feel like Meckel knows where the floor is, and it's indicated by these speed lines here. Like I'm a big fan of grids. People will tell you, so I would love to see a grid in here. But I mean, other than that, like I'm just, yeah, I'd look at this myself to be like, how is Meckel composing the shots? How are they flowing from one to the other? Why does it read so well? This is the kind of thing that I would break down to study. So it's very hard for me to break it down with critique.
Gotcha.
You know? Lovely work. Yeah, if anyone else has any critiques in chat, feel free to lay them on me, because I can't always see everything. I am also still learning.
That's a great part about this challenge and getting involved in this, is that we're all learning from one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I learn so much looking at these challenges every week. Isn't it super hard to animate a grid to move along the perspective? It is, yeah. It is hard. But when you do it, it looks super cool. It looks really cool. It makes you feel like such a badass when you animate a moving grid in the background of stuff.
When it looks convincing and it works, yeah.
Yeah, you feel like super badass if you pull it off. It's really good.
India,
I did it.
you did it.
I did it.
You've made it through.
I promise I didn't just not find critiques with this last one because I was like, this is the last one and I've done it. It's literally just because I like there isn't anything. But yeah, if you're gonna animate a grid, I'd advise you draw your grid. Make sure that the point at which the center point of it, make sure that is over the vanishing point. Because if you're gonna move it and if you're gonna have people run in perspective, you're probably gonna want to scale it, and it's gonna need to scale out from the vanishing point. So just make sure you have that set up right for yourself, and you save yourself a ton of headaches. Yeah, it's a good example of playful animation. You want to focus on the action. Yeah, it feels playful, you know? It feels spontaneous. It has that energy in it still. Which is real nice. Because often that energy is lost in tie down, but this still has it.
Kurzik says, I remember joking about nothing but reviews during this week's streams on Monday. Boy, howdy.
Kurzek, you were right. You were right. And we've gone way over time.
It's midday.
I need to run.
Time.
I need to run now. Run away. I need to run and get to work immediately. But I'm happy that we got through everything, because I feel like people deserve for us to get to everything. Mike and I are going to have a rethink of how to do these reviews for next time. We still want everyone to get a review. We're just going to try and figure out how to do them within the time. So next week will be a trial. We'll see what happens.
We'll
Run like the fire
out.
alarm is going off again. We will.
Figure something out. Who do we's got to raid?
Who do's we got?
Oh, who do's we got?
Ooh. We got Chromail. Let's see. Mulgarak says, "Thank you for pulling through. In the time I did these challenges, I definitely learned a lot and it starts to show. So thank you a lot and great work by everyone." Aw.
Thank you.
I agree. Great work by everyone. And it's like, I do feel like people are growing through these challenges, which is really wonderful to see. Like, really awesome.
Yeah, it's really like, okay, let me just take a moment to say thank you to everyone for all of the challenges this week and all of the challenges for the last, as we counted them yesterday, 14 weeks. This is the 14th week of Anna Morning Challenge.
Yeah. You guys should be building up like a fair thwack of stuff you've made now.
So just like thank you for everything that you've worked hard, putting in your time and your effort to help like try new things, and I don't know what I'm trying to say, but just like thank you.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Really. And let's roll on the next challenge and have fun with it.
Yeah, the next one is
it up on our Twitter?
It is up on our Twitter.
Awesome.
I think this is, I still have the tweet.
Darkball is super easy to organise. We basically just say this is what it's going to be this week, and then you all do the stuff. So yeah, it's awesome to be part of this and to get to see you guys like nailing it every week. Thank you so much. And who are we raiding, Mike? Because I have to go.
We are raiding. There's a lot of options because we're so late now.
Just choose. Just choose. Just choose a person. They're all good options.
They are all good options.
So there's no wrong answer. Just go for someone who you fancy popping in on today.
Okay.
Who we going for?
Theza.
Theza. Whoop whoop.
Reason she didn't come up in the list.
Evelyn says pick the one with the fewest viewers.
Oh, that's not Saza.
Well,
but I already chose to choose.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to stop you from choosing Saza, but choosing someone with the lowest viewers is also a super nice thing to do.
That's true.
Get me some celebratory Jaffa cakes. Hey man, I'm a burrito up. It's gonna be good. I'm excited. Delicious burritos.
I already closed the tab, so we'll stream. We'll raid fewest viewers next time.
Okay.
Start to read.
Do it. Everybody have an awesome time at Ceza's stream. And have a fantastic day as well. And have an amazing weekend if we don't see you at the weekend. If you do want to come and hang out on the weekend, then I think we'll probably be streaming about 6 PM our time tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just geeking out about Turtles stuff. Just going to be looking at a bunch of animation and storyboards from the Turtles. And talking about what makes them so good with our guest Pat Stannard. So anyone who's interested, you're totally welcome to come along. And it should be really fun. We're just going to geek out. That's all. Alright guys, everyone have an awesome day. And may the rest of it
of your day
be filled
with
adventure.
Take care everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you.